What is up YouTube, and welcome back to the RiftGuides WildRift video. We have a tank dream, the Shyvana jungle. This champion is unironically not even that bad in the current meta, and it all comes down to you understanding how to play this champion. With the power of the Chinese overlords, you always have enough gameplay for pretty much anything available. So this time we can break down a Shyvana gameplay. So what's very interesting about this champion is simply the power this champion can have due to the fact of going for Heartsteel second. What I personally do, what I did in the last game I played, I didn't go for Heartsteel second. But given how the game turns out nowadays to be, and if there's no percentage damage on the enemy team, yada yada yada, it just becomes such a broken item that you can just stack up for free and become immortal. Cause yeah, but now let's take a good look at the Clear and what she does. Because I personally am very curious if there's anything different that I can utilize for myself. Just to facilitate my own jungle clear a little bit better. So keep Smite for the first camp, leashes the second camp with it, and then we'll probably kill it with the splash damage of the first attack, and then puts a point into the second ability. Okay, because normally I'd believe that the first ability just does more. But apparently the buffs to the second ability were this significant. Okay, yeah, sure. This is definitely faster than what I've done. Most definitely faster. Pulls it over, lets the second ability execute. Oh my, that is so much faster. Doesn't use Smite here. Maxes E, so this is pretty much normal. Okay, cool. That's a pretty decent jungle clear time if you ask me. We'll have ult, and now can immediately gank bot lane in like 1 to 2 seconds. Oh, that was a trap. That's depressing. Goes in, jumps over, gets another kill, does survive this play. That was a close one. Gets a massive lead though from this play, double kill into the hands of the Shyvana. Picks up, I think, Phage into Sheen, right? Did I see this correctly? Phage Sheen, yes, Phage Sheen dagger. Pretty busted. Darius about to turn it up onto that Garen. Pops the ult, gets counter ulted. Who's gonna die? That Darius wins. Shyvana walks top to help him push the wave, just in case he gets ganked. Because both junglers could be potentially okay. That's a pretty nice play by him to just save his jungle, save his top laner. Very aware of what is going on the map. Very proactive with looking with the camera. Pretty cool. All of on the bottom side of the map. Okay. Veigar has the Soraka ult augment. Not augment, Hextech toolkit. Covering mid lane so the enemy Veigar doesn't get plates. Very important. We'll probably have to farm another wave. Oh no, Yona will be back in time. Okay. Ultimate coming up very soon with the Rage Bar. Looking for a cheeky little invade here. Spotting the Olaf. Gets ult up as well now. Smites it away from the Olaf, walks down bot lane with ultimate ready, has 24s in base as well. So what is the Shyvana now gonna do? Is she gonna reset for tempo, or is she trying to force a play? If she makes a play now, she might get ult back beforehand, before the first objective spawn. But it doesn't look like she's trying to do so. Picks up a crab, has 110 stacks. Does she... So what is the plan of the Shyvana now? She doesn't want to reset for an item spike, so my assumption is she clears this bot side, recalls, goes for top side? An expectation of Herald? Or does she want to fight the dragon? There's a potential play in the bot lane, yes, hook connects, but the play isn't being forced by the Thresh. So now we reset. So the question is, do we reset into topside for Herald, or do we just straight up walk to Dragon? Like, do blue buff into Dragon or blue buff into Herald? Because what's the idea behind this? Because Dragon grants you more stacks for your form than Herald does. But obviously it's not as easy to contest the Dragon if your bot lane is having a big troublesome situation. Massive spike here from the Shyvana. Yeah, you demolish these objectives. Like, Shyvana's third ability demolishes objectives. It's not even funny. Look how fast it's eaten alive. Sadly, not many top lane camps are available. These chickens should also not be there, yeah. So Yona is still mid lane chilling. So he has to make up his mind where he wants to go with these mimics. Garen being spotted, immediately flashing away, not even taking the chances. Big damage here. Will he pick up the Scorpion as well and force a play onto the Garen? Darius apparently doesn't want to make a play here, okay. Olaf caught in vision. Jumping in now. The jump sadly misses, gets pulled in. Darius isn't the one tanking, the Shyvana is. Big damage off the Garen onto the Shyvana. But thanks to that, the Darius had enough time to get the fully stacked passive onto the Garen, and therefore an easy kill. Because the current iteration of Darius is absolutely obscenely overpowered. Plated caps being picked up, and not— oh, the Sona gets the trade kill. And it seems like a wrap for the Shyvana already. Like, she's getting so strong. The Yone nearly gets the trade in a 1v1 scenario, but now the Shyvana is then picks up the freebie. There is also here to soak up this XP and gold, because Shyvana like gets you get less gold as a jungle thanks to the debuff of the jungle. Will be gone at 7:30 when plates fall. But now since Olaf is dead, immediately switching over to invading the enemy jungle, just getting yourself some extra stacks, denying the enemy some gold for free. Pretty important to do this. So yeah, we just want to make sure that the enemy doesn't get anything. Another free kill for the Darius. 250 stacks. 258 now after the Croc camp. So now, in case you don't know Shyvana, every 100 stacks she gains up until 400, she evolves her abilities in dragon form. Like, the first ability becomes an AoE slow, the second ability becomes like you become a speed racer, the third ability is transformed into true damage within the field, and the ultimate is, if I'm not mistaken, you gain Omnivamp and HP? Or is it just Omnivamp? Just let me know if I'm not quite correct on that one. But you gain 15% or something Omnivamp. And since you're champion, there's a high percentage of, well, spread out damage. It is quite noticeable. No way the Kaiser walked into that. No shot. And now since the Shyvana gains full gold from the wave, she can actually invest the time into clearing this wave and actually taking the last hits, picking up Heartsteel now. And after this we go Terminus, and exactly for that reason, as I've mentioned earlier. Why Terminus? Because number one, you have an auto attack recently first ability, which is also a multi-auto attack, which applies multiple stacks of Terminus, and therefore the on-it effects. And not only this, you also have an even better benefit that you gain Armor Pen as well as Magic Pen. And since you see on these camps here, there's a high share of both types of damage, it will increase your damage manifold. Plus, it also grants you AD and on-hit bonus damage. With all that in mind, it's quite the insane combo to have on this champion. And yeah, Garen can't really stand a chance against this champion if they were to all-out fight. And yeah, now it's like kind of a slow situation here. Need to wait for the next dragon to spawn. With the next dragon spawned, he also picked up earlier the Stone Plate, so he's technically invincible because Stone Plate scales with the HP you have. And since he has Heartsteel, this will make him even tankier against anti-burst. This can be a very good situation here depending on how it's going. Stoneplate will be popped, massive shield is there. He's tanking up so much, he just tanked so much damage. He probably tanked as much damage as his entire team has HP, and now the Yone is able to turn thanks to that. What I wonder though is, isn't, because Gathering Storm seems so sad on AD champions, right? Isn't it not just better to have Triumph? Olaf? But you don't win this. Like, Shyvana does too much damage. Like, he has too much life and too much damage for you to win this one. Not at this stage with the items you have against the items you're playing. Little bit of a fruitarian here, fruit being picked up, more Heartsteel stacks about to be taken. $400 stacks, it is now done. We have the higher, like the Omnivamp sorted. So now, killing this champion becomes increasingly difficult, especially if we pick up the next 2 items or 3 items, granting us even more Omnivamp, because Riftmaker Omnivamp stacks obviously with the Omnivamp we already have. Then you have the Hybrid Pen from Terminus, especially double resistances, and from Emerald Twin Guard you even gain more resistances and tenacity, making you an absolute unit. You will soak so much damage, allowing your team to deal infinite amounts of damage during that time, while you also deal a decent amount of damage, because if you get close to an enemy AD carry, and you hit them with your 3rd ability into your 1st ability, you might as well just completely tap them. And yeah, like, even though you see Heartsteel 2nd only at 252 stacks, but the item will scale forever. And that's a pretty big thing to have. And now we have Terminus, so now the damage is skyrocketing. I wonder with the changes of Blade, if Blade doesn't also gain a slot in Shyvana's build, because, like, if you look at this, Terminus is just broken on her, right? But maybe it's too expensive, and it might just be better to have Blade. But again, Terminus plays into multiple roles. It deals damage, gives resistances, and penetration, whereas Blade is only pretty good damage. Garen, you poor soul. You don't know yet. Oh, flash away. He doesn't really want to use ultimate here, because it would be a massive waste. And now you see the DPS. You see? It's, what is Sona? I guess she expected something to happen, but nothing happened. Caitlyn, good day to you. Now let's see what happens. You remember what I told about 80 carries and getting close to an 80 carry? They just die. They just can't do anything about this. Like, there's only a few select 80 carries that can actually deal with these type of champions, with these type of item builds, and these are the pinnacle of the food chain. And all the other champions are just, you know, just a little bit for the memes. Like, Caitlyn is not really a strong champion. The funny thing is, the Chinese API data would suggest that she's actually not that bad, but this champion doesn't compare to the typical culprits. But yeah, since Lulu is open on this server like 24/7, they only have 3 bans, kind of a different story, but it's also funny to see that most AD carries on that server are very close in win rate. He has the Baron debuff now, it goes away, he doesn't want to flip this, he wants to turn. Baron is on 4.2k, enemy could try to go for it, but look at what he's doing to the Caitlyn. She will die to Nashor. Did she die to Nashor? No, she didn't. Caitlyn ults him. The backline demon. Kai'Sa also appearing now, there's a cage in the way, everyone is low HP trying to run away. Veigar, where are you going? Yone ult over the wall. Okay, that was surely not intended, but it was fancy as hell, no? Like how he just jumped over the wall. Meanwhile, Thresh is trying to just escape with a sliver of HP using the death sentence to get onto the wolves, and now pieces out into the next season. Come on, give me the red buff. Good boy. And look at him. He is taking everything. Nothing shall be yours, my friends. I wonder if it wouldn't. I wonder if he could have not just done Nashor. It should have been free, no? I mean, he has so much gold. You can just recall now after the next camp, purchase a fully completed Emerald Twin Guard, and be like super strong for the next dragon fight. Yeah, he's immortal. There is just no way he dies. I'm kind of confused why he picked up an Amplifying Tomb. I think he should have just picked up, what is it called? A Ruby Crystal? I think that would have done probably more, given the build he has. But yeah, Garen doing the Garen thing, just side lane pushing, on cooldown. You don't have the Shyvana finding the Olaf. No, Olaf, let's fight, come on, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's not even close. She's so fed and does so much damage. Nice sidestep. Oh, Veigar! Exhaust popping. Damage comes in, flash as well. Pops the stone plate in middle of 3 people to mitigate the most damage possible. They just don't have the damage to deal with them. They just don't have the tools, and she will just run after the Caitlyn. Look at this inevitable doom. And not as a Garen. Uh-oh. No! Dragon has fallen. Oh, the poor dragon has fallen. How can win? Dragon form is available. Enemy team has to be... Ooh, nice, your alternative backline. Misses though, I believe. Shyvana has the Baron debuff. Team is dying. This could actually be a massive throw, depending on what is happening. Veigar steals the Baron. Okay, but Shyvana will clean up. Shyvana will kill them all. Peeling back to protect the backline. Turns, okay. Snacks on the Brolov. No turns onto Garen. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to get this guy if he has cage. Yeah. Oh my, yeah, she's too thick. Yeah, Veigar just stole Baron. Because if you have Baron debuff, and there's an AP champion in the enemy team, you will always lose Smite. You can't win. Because AP champions deal too much damage and Smite deals too little. Like 800, what is 800? At this point, Veigar WQ's like 2000. So how can win? Spoiler, can't. Okay, now we're gonna pick up Riftmaker. With Riftmaker in our inventory, we now have close to 30% Omnivamp. If we factor in Bloodline, it's even more. And you have to think about all the sources of damage we have. How much effective healing that actually translates into. Oh my god, he just jumps into all these people, finds the Caitlyn, nearly just taps the Caitlyn. It's being knocked up here. Pops the gargoyle. Uh-oh, he wanted a little bit too much and couldn't one-shot the Caitlyn. Uh-oh. He felt himself a tiny bit too much. So let's skip his death screen. He bought teleport when dead, very, very important to do. And his team is actually holding down the fort. He just bit off a tiny bit too much, trying to go for the assassination on Caitlyn. She just flashed away. If he actually got on top of her, and actually got to hit, I think she just dies. But yeah, he just wanted a little bit too much. Respectable though. He wants to go for another jump. Massive top weight though, pushing into his base. Jumps in for another for fun moment. Can't move for the next 15 business days. It's being locked up again. But yeah, his team will now finally end. He made enough time. And that way, we end the game. Yeah, at the end, he just really felt himself a little bit too much. I can relate. I feel the same. It was a little bit of an inting situation, but we take those. But overall, very enjoyable experience. Playing Shyvana. And yeah, now we see a little bit of eclipse towards the end of this video. Big jump onto so many people. Kiting around, picks up the fruit, turns around. There's so much damage. Soraka in the middle of the... What was it? Kai'Sa. Soraka and Kai'Sa in the middle of the fight being hunted down by the dragon. And yeah, well Kai'Sa, what are you gonna do turning golden? You just die anyway. Yasuo ultimate onto the Shyvana. Look at the DPS of the dragon. It's like a death sentence. There's no hope. Oh no. Is it Ziggs or El Tito? I think Ziggs. Was difficult to see. Jumps over the wall, one-shots them. Keeps on tanking up so much damage and just zooms around. Doesn't care about anything. Jumping in. This damage is just insane. There must be like a way to, like, you need to incorporate Thunder Sky somehow into like Shyvana builds. This item is too broken to not have, no? Let's see when they show the top leaderboard builds at the end, if they have like Shyvana builds or something. Bonk tried to kick away, but the Q was buffered. Get owned. So let's see if there's like a Thunder Sky Vault in this list so far. I don't see anything yet. Kinda sad. But it's very similar on all regards. Has brutally for more early game pressure. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more RiftGuides content very soon. Check it out in the description below, and we'll see each other tomorrow.